In Affinity, as well as Affinity Photo, select the background, or of course any layer, then go to Edit and then Copy. I want to put it into the clipboard or pasteboard. This can be done for PC or Mac as well, of course. So once you've done that, then create a rectangle. Now you can create any of the other shapes as well. Of course, you could go with a circle, perfectly reasonable. But I'm going to go with a rectangle, create that, and just drag over the whole image and something like that. Okay, did I do it perfectly? No, I didn't do it. But anyway, that's always the way. Okay, so it's the size now approximately of the original image. Then I can go to Edit and go to Paste and paste inside, because I want to put it inside that rectangle. So the rectangle selected, paste inside. Now I've still got the original background as well, so you can use that and combine it later if you wish. Always useful to have a copy. Now go to the rectangle, make certain the rectangle is selected, and go to the Vector Studio. So I'm in the Vector Studio already, but the tool is there. You can, of course, customize your tools and place it in the Pixel Studio if you want. Then go to the knife tool. With the knife tool, I've got this mode turned off. I've got auto close off, 100%, stabilizer not on. I've got the rope mode on. You could, of course, change the settings as required. Once you've done that, then just with the rectangle selected, you can then use the knife tool. And sometimes I've noticed what happens, it suddenly beeps and says, oh no, you can't do that, even though you can. It's just weird. It just seems to suddenly says, oh no, you can't do it. It's one of those weird tools. Okay, you can of course concentrate on particular areas, maybe go around a particular person, maybe a particular car or a bus or whatever of course the scene is. You might not want to create doodles, or in this case, a cut in the vector design. Now the image still is exactly the same as it was before. Just got lots of the image inside lots of these curves, and if I expand these out, and you can see there I've got that. So I've got that one. I can manipulate the background. I could do that individually. It takes some time. I don't really want to do that, but I could add other effects, maybe a blur in one, maybe some other effect in another. You could do lots of things like that. But what you can also do is you can go up here and go to the curves, and you can select, say, a batch of them. Hold down the shift, and it should, if you select one and then go all the way down there, select all of those ones. Now, what you can then do is go to effects. So just click effects down the bottom, and I'm going to go and add an outer shadow to those. Now, I don't know where they are located in the image. Actually, they could be anywhere. It could be randomly positioned. So you've got something like that. And of course, you can change the angle, maybe go with a gradient, mix it with a whole load of different effects. Now, once you've done that, click close. I found, for some weird reason, if you go to the move tool, let's just go to move tool, I don't need the knife tool anymore. With the move tool in the Vector Studio, it doesn't allow duplication. Or certainly hasn't for a while. So if I press return, it comes up this time. Very weird. During the previous run through of that, it did not come up. And I was going to suggest just go to the pixel mode as a workaround. This time, of course, it does it. It's very weird. It kept on beeping at me saying, nope, I am not going to display the move duplicate. It made no sense whatsoever, but still, that sometimes happens in Affinity, and you think, why? Okay, what you can then do is use rotation. So you can rotate it, and you can see then straight away you'll break the image up, but also you've got scale. So you can say 100. Now you can do this, of course, just by using these. You can obviously apply it to all of those shapes all at the same time. But I find it just easier with this panel, because then you can just say horizontal, vertical. You don't sort of struggle to try and select particular shapes or not. And then click OK. And then you've got that. So you've got that. And of course, then you can select another batch. And of course, there's probably about 400, 500 of these. So you might select 50s, batch of 50. And then again, go to effects, click there, outer shadow, and maybe put a different. You don't have to go with the same. Maybe make the intensities greater or the offset slightly different. And maybe add a 3D. You could do that. Maybe there might be parts of the image you want to emphasise, so put them in 3D. Maybe go with like one of the other ones, like outline. Maybe go with outline. Though, of course, sometimes you find, oh, that one does work nicely. Yeah, you can see a line around that. Obviously, if the image, they're right next to and underneath, then you might not see it, but at the moment, it's fine. And then, once you've done that, click close, and again, press return, and you've got that again, and you can then scale, or you can go that way. Obviously, you don't want to scale too much. You might want to just move it so it's shifting out. Maybe, you know, in a whole range of different options, you could go with rotation, again, maybe vertical, distance, and so on. Just try them out. And of course, then let's just go down and select another batch. So that one, and again, effects, just click there, and with that, go with outer shadow again, and this time radius, maybe change blend mode, all those sort of things. You can, a variety of different ones. Click close, and again, press return or enter on the keyboard, and again, go with rotation, maybe a different rotation, maybe a different angle, maybe a different scale. Go down, up, and so on. Or maybe duplicate even. Create multiple copies of it. Whole range of different, if you've got some part of the image you really want to manipulate. So now you can see what's building up. You've got this sort of broken image. And, of course, once you're finished, and I'm not going to go through the whole lot to do everything. Obviously, I've got lots of additional curves, but you could do that in batches of 50 or 100 or something. Just select a batch and then just do the same. And then, of course, you can always still manipulate them just manually as well, as mentioned. If you want to do that, you don't have to add the effects even. You could break the image up in all kinds of ways. Now, once you've got this, you can always then, of course, you could save it, make a backup of it. Now, I don't want to do that, but you've got all these curves, and I'm just going to go down all these ones selected, and I'm just going to right-click and group. So they're all grouped, then right-click and rasterize. And they're all rasterized into a pixel layer. Now, with this, you can now do exactly the same. So you've got your image here, got this one, again, create a rectangle, or maybe, let's say, go with an ellipse. So just create an ellipse this time. So this one, just simply select it, edit, and copy. And again, go back to the ellipse and go with edit and paste inside again. And you've got that. Exact same as before. Vector Studio, just go here, go to the knife tool, same settings, and see what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Don't know why it does that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just doesn't seem to like it. Just changes into a sort of selection tool, which is very odd. I'm not certain why it does that. Still, you can see now I've broken it apart again. And exact same before, I can now select the curves like that, maybe more of them. Whole range of different ones. You can always scroll down, select a lot more. And then again, go to effects, and then maybe go with 3D this time, and so on. So you can build up all kinds of different profiles, different outer shadows applied. So just select that one and click close. And you can see you could, of course, also perhaps save this as a macro. So you could apply it, of course, to any image, same sort of breakup effect. Very quick way of creating some quite high impact visual effects. Well, I hope you found this of interest. It's one of those techniques that I think you can use to create all kinds of unique designs. I did obviously some shadows and some 3D effects, but there's also a lot more things you can do. You can also add, of course, various layer effects inside that, such as maybe a blur, or maybe go for a distortion. Perhaps even add some adjustments to it to recolour parts of the image. So there are loads of ways you can use this to create some unique imagery in Affinity. Hope you found it of interest. Any questions, thoughts, please let me know in the comments. Bye.